I'm going to show you a couple more slides, and then we're going to ask you the big question that I hope you stick around for. The big question is the plan on the right track? Yes, no, or maybe, okay? And so let's talk about one other last big point. A prosperous but still affordable city. So in the past, prosperity was enough. Las Cruces 50 years ago had half the population. It was just about building a prosperous community. Now, you've reached another different point in your history, and this is the point in which affordability is very, very important. People were saying build and protect small businesses. They were saying employ local artists, and they were afraid of high taxes and high rents. Taxes especially. Taxes on a retired elderly couple could be the thing that drives them out of the community, and that's sad. Rents, as things get nicer in the downtown, rents are also increasing. So again, this is the corrective. This is the thing you do. You want to be vibrant and intelligent, and you want to be courageous, but you also want to be sensitive to people. You want to help keep homes and workplaces affordable. The first way to do it is to say yes to the home builders, say yes to the development community, keep building. I have to tell you, the affordability problem is not as bad here as I see in other places. And it is because you still have a healthy construction market. And I just think that's great. I'm glad that you're continuing to build. Don't stop building. Some communities have stopped building completely. It just gets harder and harder, and it becomes a resort community for a very few amount of people. So the number one thing that you need to do in order to stay affordable is to continue to build. Build in the right way. Build in a smart way. Build places that have dignity and bring people together and are liked by all ages. But nevertheless, I urge you, continue to build. Now, as you build, there are new strategies to keep things affordable. Your city is currently working on an affordable housing plan. A lot of you were part of that. They were talking about allowing accessory dwelling units like granny flats. That's right. The red is what you're already doing. This isn't something in the future. Cruces is already working on granny flats and accessory dwelling units, historic districts in order to preserve naturally occurring affordable housing. They're working with the federal government on low-income housing tax credits. Their Section 8 vouchers is a part of this community, and it's an important part. There's a community land trust that's going and buying inexpensive land and turning it into affordable housing and turning it into affordable workplaces. There's a few things that we recommend that we go along. Greater public-private partnerships, and possibly even bonding in order to build affordable housing. Maybe not necessary now, but in the 25 years of this project, affordable housing will become more difficult. And so we don't need to get into all these policies. It's very complicated, but I want to tell you that you're also about to start a historic preservation program. And it's about big plaques on awesome, amazing buildings like the Rio Grande Theater and preserving those. But it's also about preserving the smaller structures that have relatively affordable prices right now. You know, 3 bedrooms, 1,600 square feet. You could raise a family in that structure. In affordable housing, protecting that means protecting the people who currently live here. All around this room, we've been inspired by the pictures of when Las Cruces was 100% proprietor owned. That means before the corporations and before out-of-town money, people would stand outside of their shop and proudly take pictures with their dog, because it's Las Cruces, and they owned their shops. A big part of this project has to be increasing the amount of ownership over one's own workspace and one's own shop and one's own store. The plan will have multiple strategies for that. This is resilience. This is keeping people who are here. Now, I love when you go out to today with the farmer's market, or on Wednesday with the downtown market, all of the people in these market, a lot of these stalls, what starts as a hobby project, I saw goat milk soap, right? It starts as a hobby project, but if goat milk soap catches on, and why wouldn't it? Then it becomes the business for this person. They can quit their terrible job working for whoever, and they can be a goat milk soap entrepreneur. Your markets are incubators for small business owners who are becoming more and more self-sufficient and reliant. There are guys who are creating great woodwork like this. I got to meet, I believe it was Joe, who does this kind of thing, and he quit his job selling stuff he didn't like in order to sell stuff that he's really into, like the wood products. Take it another step. You have one of the biggest, coolest creative the Cruces Creative makerspace. These spaces are where people can go, guys like woodworkers like Joe, and they go to this space and they have access to different kinds of tools, like sewing tools, or bike fixing stuff, or laser cutter machines, or 3D printers, or high quality fiber optic network. For a small price, there's a membership there, and they're able to use these tools. Instead of going to the gym, a lot of people are going into these spaces and they're making stuff, and that's fun. Encourage that, because that's building from the bottom up. Opportunity, social advancement, and jobs. Art is economic development. It is here. Because you're Cruces and you're the desert Southwest, you've got art is part of your soul. You take inspiration from the natural world. You take inspiration from the ancient peoples that were here. And whenever you're commissioning art, like the art that's under the highways, or the art that's on the side of the buildings, or I've never seen a water tower that had so much art like this. Where I'm from, the water towers are just sky blue. But here it's filled with pictographs and beauty. And continue to embrace your artistic community. But the poor, struggling artists require help. They require support. The plan is going to make recommendations on fiscal measures, on automatic procedures like cultural density bonus programs, cultural asset maps, heritage interpretive plan, which showcases art, natural and indigenous, and new pop-up art spaces. This presentation is going on long, but what I want to tell you is that we're going to look for solutions and tools in order to encourage art and make sure the artists get the money they need in order to stay in town. And talking to the head of quality of life, the director, the operator of the museums, Ms. Slaughter, she made this point. She said, art isn't just what's in an art museum. Art is all around. Art is in architecture. Art is in placemaking. The Hispanic tradition of the plaza is something that you own. It is more authentic here than in anywhere else that they try to do it. The tradition comes, maybe it was from Spain or maybe it was from Mexico. The Zocalo of Mexico City is the penultimate form of this. And what our team has been trying to do is, again, reinvent the idea of the plaza, the placita. The perfect square one like this, like you have in Old Mesita, but anywhere you can, even along the commercial strip, the small plaza, the small placita that kids are able to play under shade and on toys. How small can you get these things? Could you have a Burger King and a Wendy's, or here I would be, I suppose, a Whataburger and I don't know, a Blake's, perfect. Yep. And could they frame a small square? You have a perfect, this is like such a perfect environment. There's a nice place as long as there's a little bit of shade. Plazas and placitas and open space everywhere. There's a question, how are you going to get there? These are great ideas, but what about implementation? Srijan promised last time, and it's coming. An implementation matrix. It says what's short-term, what's midterm, what's long-term. It assigns these things to different people. It creates funding streams in order to get them implemented. Just understand that no one wants the plan to sit on the shelf. We've all spent too much time on this for that. We want this plan to be an active living plan that changes life. And this is the last slide. This is the last question. And you can go back out to the farmer's market into your goat milk soap, which I just think is so cool. Last question. We talk about so much today. Are these ideas on the right track? That's it. Is it on the right track? 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for not sure yet. 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for not sure yet. Poll is open, 45 responses already. We start the counter. All right, 82% of people said yes. 12% said not sure yet, they need more information, but that's basically a lot of people. 6%, we still have yet to talk to and to try to convince. Big hand for everybody that participated in it today. Thank you so much for your help. That was a lot of fun.